anything that thrives in life has structure to it. Now you have structure. Now you don't have to worry about all of this bullshit that takes up people's time and attention. You don't have to think about when you're going to the gym. You don't have to think about your day or what you're going to do to change your life. Now you have a blueprint to execute. And over time, as you see results materializing, as you feel the growth that you're acquiring, it stokes that spirit, it stokes that inspiration. And that's where the purpose in your life is derived, from seeing what's possible through daily action and effort. And you'll never be the same. Welcome back to another episode of the Unstoppable Mindset Podcast. I'm your host, Sean Michael Crane. We're down here crushing it in Pierpont at the castle. Shout out Wonder Mouse Productions. Okay, so today I want to talk to you about how to cultivate an unstoppable mindset. What are the actual steps that you need to take and implement to elevate your mindset, to expand your perspective, to get more focused in life on your goals, and to really improve who you are every single day. That's the goal. Most people are very inconsistent. Most people don't have a plan to follow. Most people don't take time to think about where they're going in life. And because of that, they waste a lot of time. Because of that, they struggle to make changes. Because of that, they find themselves in a comfort zone or a life of mediocrity that they later on regret. So I want to break down what are the 5 steps that you need to take right now in your life to get more focused, to get laser focused on your goals and who you want to become. And then what is the daily system that you can follow each and every day to make incremental shifts towards that person, to slowly build momentum, to slowly acquire, the results over time, so that you actually become someone you want to be and you live a life that you love and that you're proud of. That's the focus of today's message. So the first thing that you need to do, and I'd recommend getting out some writing paper, taking notes as I'm speaking, because these are concepts and topics and strategies that I coach my clients on. So when someone comes to me and they say, hey, Sean, I'm struggling to be the man I want to be. Physically, I'm weak. I'm not taking care of my health. My mindset's not where it needs to be. I'm feeling a little weak, a little distracted. I don't have clarity. I'm stressed. And in my family, I know I can show up more present or just as a better man. Like, this is the message I hear all the time from my clients. The first thing we do is I get them to actually write out who their best self, who their ideal self, what their greatest life looks like. See, a lot of times people know that they want to change. They have a feeling inside of them that's compelling them to take some action, but they don't really know what that is, so they don't do anything. So the first step is generating clarity and what I like to call vision creation. Vision creation is going to simply help you to extract some of your truth, to extract some of those ideas you have, get them on paper so we can analyze them, and then actually create a blueprint for you to follow every day to become that person. So if you're listening right now, what I want you to do is take out a piece of paper, a pen, something to write with, and we're going to do a brain dump. Now, a brain dump is simply just getting thoughts and ideas onto paper before you can second guess them, before doubt and fear sets in. So what we typically do here is we set a timer for 3 minutes. And I tell my clients, whoever I'm talking to, go. Write out anything that you can think of right now that symbolic or represents your best life. Your physique, your health, where you're living, your family situation, your career. Just write it out. Brain dump that shit onto paper. Don't second guess it. Don't think about if it's realistic. Is it possible? How can I do it? Just fucking write it out. Okay? We're going to circumvent this fear-based decision-making that plagues most people. So if you're listening, I want you to do that. And what you would do is you'd simply write out words like millionaire, second house in Florida, retire my wife, 6-pack. What else do you want? Send kids to private school, have another baby, buy a house. Like, what's on your mind, right? Leave that 9 to 5 I hate. Start my business. Take marketing and branding seriously. Like, just write it out. Write out in 1 word or 2 words, short sentences, real quick, what you would want your future life to look like. Now, the next step is to actually take those things that you just wrote out and give it more detail, So take time to articulate what you want your life to actually look like in 10 years from now. And this is so important because now we're visualizing our life. Now we're thinking about that ideal self. Now we're thinking about what our family life would be like. Now we're thinking about what it would be like to run our own business or, to expand our business or, to go after those bigger goals. And the act of visualization is so powerful to really change the way your brain communicates with itself and to expand or elevate your identity over time. I always visualize my future self. Every day I'm thinking about the guy I'm going to be in 5 years. Every day I think about the guy I'm growing into in 10 years from now. Every day I think about my ideal self, and that's the standard of the person I'm striving to live as every single day. But most people don't even know what that looks like. Or if they do, they're not really connecting to that person through visualization or through writing enough to enact that shift. Because what we're after here is a shift that takes place energetically, internally, spiritually, cognitively, psychologically, and it takes time. So what we're doing now is we're going to help you with the blueprint. Then it's about repetition over time until you actually become that person, materialize those results, and take control of your life. So what I want you to do, if you're listening, take the time after this episode, or even right now as I'm talking, and start describing what your best life looks like in 5 years from now. Like every little detail, write it out as if it would come true. And here's something really important to consider. Write this out as if there's no limitations and whatever you write down will come true. Don't think about, oh, is this realistic? Oh, is this possible for me? Oh, is this likely to happen? Those are fear-based decision-making processes that will stymie your growth and potential in life. You have to learn to circumvent fear. If you make any decisions based on fear in life, you're never going to thrive. You have to learn to acknowledge the fear and then say, fuck that, and have the courage to go after what you really want. That's the way you become a successful, purpose-driven man in this life. So once you write that out and you can articulate it, like when you tell me, I want to be able to close my eyes and see that life. I want to feel the energy and the emotion behind it based on what you describe with words. The emotion that you put into your writing and really like tapping into that energy and visualizing that life as you do so is so crucial. It is absolutely crucial. Otherwise, it's just going to be this vague description that you don't connect with, that's not really that meaningful to you. Like, tell me about the look on your wife's face when you buy her that new home. Tell me about the relationship you have with your children when you're present every single day. Tell me about that pride that you have swelling within you when you're in the best physical shape you've ever been in, when you 10x your business revenue in the next 5 years. Like the things that are so meaningful to you, the impact that you have on your employees or your community or your friends or your family. Like, I want to know about the emotion behind this vision, and that carries me over into the next step that we're going to get to in a second, discovering your why. But before that, the last piece of writing that I'd want you to do is literally writing out what I call your legacy letter. So imagine yourself at your celebration of life or your funeral or whatever, your cremation service, the memorial. You're dead, you're done, it's over. What are people talking about at that celebration of life? What is the energy? What is the atmosphere? How many people show up? Are there 5? Are there 10? Are there 1,000? Like, what is the impact that you're going to have in your lifetime? What are the things you're going to do that are going to contribute to society? What are the major accomplishments you're going to have? What kind of person are you going to be remembered as? Like, this is what's at stake. And I found this step to be so impactful for people because we all know about goal setting. We all think about 5 or 10-year goals, or what do I want to do this year? Let me set a New Year's resolution. But what about when you die? It's done. There's no second chance. There's no next year. There's no next 5-year plan. You're fucking dead. It's over. What kind of life did you live? What is the legacy that you're going to leave behind? I want you to write that out. Did you start any nonprofits? Did you donate a bunch of money? Did you invent something? Did you help a lot of people? Were you an inspiration? Did you change something in a positive way? Did you enact positive change in your community, in your state, in your country? Like, are you someone to be remembered as? Are you another one of those people that died with untapped potential, living a life of mediocrity? Like, this is what's at stake. And if we don't have this awareness and this mindset going into every day of our lives, we're going to come up short. I don't want to come up short. I want to thrive. I want to give my all. When I'm on my deathbed, I want to know that I just tapped into all my potential, that I gave my heart and soul to this world, that I showed up every day as my best self, and I gave it the care and the attention that it deserves, because this journey is precious, and too many people neglect it, and too many people take it for granted. Don't be one of those people. Take your goals seriously. Cultivate using your mind, the power of your mind, this gift, that vision, that ideal self, and then be courageous enough to go after that and to be that person and to take those actions every day. This is what a purpose-driven life looks like, and I'm helping you to create an unstoppable mindset to get you there. Step 2, why does that life matter to you? You hear people talk about this all the time. Your why. What's your why? What's your why? Your why is the emotional reservoir that's going to compel you to take action when you don't want to. When you're tired, when doubt's there, when you just want to take it easy, when that bitch voice is plaguing you, you have to have something inside of you that's going to compel you to take action despite how you're feeling in those moments. Because they happen to all of us. And the people that are successful long-term and do amazing things in their life are relentless and obsessed. They don't listen to that bitch voice. They don't let excuses plague them. They don't say, I'll wait for tomorrow. They do it immediately, and they do it consistently for as long as it takes to achieve the outcome they desire. So for you need to know what is your why? What is your purpose? What is that thing inside of you that's compelling you to become the person your heart is calling you to be? For me, I have a couple different things I think of. And if you're struggling to really, tap into something powerful and all you wrote down is, your family. That's what everyone writes down. That's great. That's one of mine. But there's other things that happen to me in life that can trigger emotion in an instant when I think about them, and they compel me to take action. Like emotion is a catalyst that you can use to channel into positive endeavors every day of your life. Even if you went through negative things, trauma, pain, suffering, that energy, that emotion can now be channeled into positive action to change your life. How amazing is that? We go through struggles and challenges in life, but we can use that stuff, leverage it in order to enact positive change in our future. And that's why it's so important to know, what is my why? For me, my why is when I was a kid, I wanted to be a professional athlete. I never played sports. I didn't go to college. I'm not a professional athlete. That was the calling in my heart. That was my obsession. That was my passion. That was my first love. Professional baseball, professional football, professional basketball. I wanted to do it all. And I didn't pursue that person. And that pain, knowing that I let that kid's dreams die, it drives me every single day. The second thing is regret, the regret from not living up to my potential. From 14 to 24, I was a ghost. I was a shadow. I was a drifter. I didn't do anything in my life I was proud of. Like I said, I didn't go after my dreams. And when I found myself in a jail cell, I was overcome with regret. And the sting and the pain of that regret pierced me to my soul, man. My heart and soul was just crushed. And I had to rebuild my life from that moment. But knowing the regret of my choices, knowing how I'm going to feel later on in life if I don't take action now, that is a superpower that just compels me to go above and beyond every single day, no matter how I'm feeling. I'm so thankful that I felt that pain, because now it drives me every single day. Now, of course, being in prison and just remembering what it was like to want these second chances, to want this opportunity, to desire this life, to do it the right way. That feeling inside of me gets me up early every day, and I just got to go. I'm making it all right now. All my mistakes, all those regrets, all the decisions from my past, I make them right every single day right now through positive action that aligns to my purpose, that aligns to the man that I want to be. And then lastly, of course, it's my family, man. I have 3 beautiful children and the wife of my dreams that I absolutely adore. All I have to do is sit there and think about their faces. I have to just sit there and think about being in the hospital with my daughter who is fighting pneumonia. The day my son Preston was born, with the complications as my wife was in labor. I think about Mason, who's not even my biological child, who I love just the same as my biological children. And he gives me such a special ability to find a love within me to share with him that I never would have otherwise. I think of my beautiful wife, who has allowed me to just thrive and be the man that I know in my heart I'm born to be, and just gives me this unwavering love and this bond and this connection. Like, do you hear this emotion in my voice? Can you see the tears in my eyes right now? Like, when I'm going through a tough time in my day or in my life, I think about those things, and I'm a fucking Superman. Like, I'm unstoppable. I've said this before. You have to cut my head off, cut my legs off, burn my body to ashes, and then fucking throw those ashes in the ocean before I stop showing up and giving my all. Imagine how your life would change and how you would show up differently if you were tapped in on that level. This is what happens when you go through this process. If you're somebody struggling, you should reach out to me. I'm going to fucking force that growth out of you and push you to the top. I'm going to hold the standard of your best self, and I'm going to hold you accountable to that man every day until you become that man. That's my promise to you. If you want coaching, if you want guidance, if you want help, if you want to feel this way about your life, reach out to me on social media. Send me an email. All the links are there. Find me. Now, once we go through those steps, what's the next step? Well, maybe I need a fucking plan to follow every day so I can be that person. It's as simple as mapping out your day. Most people, and I can't believe how many people do this, they wake up in the morning and they don't know what they're going to do. They have a vague idea of where they're going to go. I'm going to go to work at this time. Oh, Timmy has basketball practice later on. But like, it's so vague and ambiguous that no wonder you're taking forever to reach your goals. No wonder you keep building and losing momentum. No wonder you're inconsistent. You literally don't have a plan to follow. What I do is from the moment I open my eyes till the moment I go to sleep, my time is mapped out. I'm accountable to certain things every single day that I need to do for myself, for my family, and for my business that's going to help me to thrive and grow and move towards the ultimate vision. I use Google Calendar, and I literally schedule out everything that I'm doing from the time I wake up to my work appointments to family time, every single thing that I'm doing. Because when I have that plan, this is what I do. I literally take 3 minutes before I go to bed and I look over Google Calendar on my phone. Having this mental awareness as to what the next day looks like gives me an advantage. I don't just wake up and think, oh, what am I going to do today? Or what workout should I do to the gym, right? When you have those vague plans, guess what happens? Your bitch voice, your excuses, that lower self starts to creep in to your mind and say, oh, maybe you should just rest today, right? Oh, maybe you should sleep in a little bit. Oh, maybe you should just cut out of work early. Oh, maybe you should just, right? Be a pussy today is what your mind's telling you to do. Now, you have to have a plan to circumvent that. What I found is when you have your days mapped out ahead of time and you just take the time to look over your schedule for the following day and you just set that mental intention and you have that awareness, you're way more likely to follow through with the plan. It's incredible how this helps you to be much more consistent over time. If I wake up and I don't have a plan and I have to sit there and spend time thinking about what I'm going to do, I'm wasting energy. I'm wasting mental bandwidth. You know, I want to be laser focused and know what I'm doing from the moment I open my eyes till the moment I go to sleep. So what I do with my clients is I help them to cultivate the ultimate vision, their truth. We extract that information and get it out where we can see it and understand it and analyze it. Then we help them to tap into that emotional reservoir, their why, their deeper purpose for creating that vision. Then we simply help them to schedule it out. And the things that are scheduling into their days and weeks over time help them to incrementally grow, incrementally increase the results. It's nothing that's going to change your life overnight, but now you have a plan that's aligned to your vision. You have a target that you're aiming for, and you have a methodical plan that's going to lead you to those goals, to those achievements long term. My daily routine is very simple. I get up at 4, I have time to self-reflect and journal. I go to the gym or I work out. Then I have breakfast with my kids as they're getting up and my wife gets ready for her day. Then I go to my workflow. Now in Google Calendar, I have work appointments that are scheduled out and I have times blocked off for other projects like writing a book, like creating content, like things that are going to help me to grow and increase my results long term, not necessarily things I have to do in the moment. Work appointments are things I'm already occupied at doing in the moment. But it's important every day in your workflow to have things that are going to help you to grow and improve and get better results long term, not necessarily right in the moment. So for instance, you're taking a sales call. That's something that's going to help your business grow in the moment. You're going to sign up a client and make money. But what about writing that book that's going to add value to your industry or your niche or your audience long term? What about that content that's going to come out next month, next week, that's going to add value to your audience, to your niche, to your industry long term? I think it's really important that you block off your work schedule to have things that you're doing that are important and urgent, like Stephen Covey talks about in 7 Habits of Highly Effective People, and then things that are important and not urgent. And when you have that type of schedule in your workflow, you get into a flow state, your creative energy stays high, inspiration stays high, and you avoid burnout and overwhelm. The last part of my day at 4:30 p.m. is all about my family. And this is something that's hard for me, and I know a lot of men struggle with it. How do you go from just being the savage, purpose-driven individual 2/3 of your day and then turning that off and going in to be with your family and just being totally calm, totally present? This is the biggest challenge that most entrepreneurs and family men face. This is the biggest challenge on an energetic level that you will face in your life. You can get up and crush your day at the gym. You can do everything you said you're going to do. You can crush it in work, generate revenue, serve your clients, grow your business, whatever you're doing. Then you could come home and fuck it all up because you can't turn the switch off. Now, what I do simply to help me shift my energy and my mindset going into family time is I take 5 minutes in my car and I just visualize how I want to be when I walk through that door. And I go back to my why. I picture that moment when I was in the hospital with Scarlett. I picture that moment when Preston was born. I picture the conversations I'm having with Mason, and how he's 12 and how he needs me right now. He's grown into a young man. I picture my wife's face and all the sacrifices she's made in this point in our lives and in our relationship. And I just think about how I need to be my best for them. And how could I ever show up as just a piece of shit dad, or a husband who's neglecting his wife's attention? Like, how could that ever happen? How can I let that happen? Right? And just generating this awareness and thinking about this before I walk through the door, and then going inside and putting my phone in the back room where I can't reach it, is gonna drastically increase the likelihood that I'm gonna show up with the energy, the demeanor, and the presence that my wife and children need. And that's what I aim to do every day from 4 a.m. till 9 p.m. or 10 p.m. That's my day. That's a 10 out of 10 day. And now it's really important that you know what a 10 out of 10 day looks like for you, so that you can hold yourself accountable, so that you can gauge your performance, and so that you can avoid little errors, little mistakes turning into bad habits that compromise your potential and your results in life. Just taking a little time at the end of the day to reflect and think, if I had to rate this day on a scale of 1 to 10, 1 being horrible, 10 being the best it could be, where do I fall? And then why? And write about it a little, journal about it, or reflect on it. That's gonna help you the next day when you wake up to ensure that you don't repeat whatever it is that stood out in your mind as a negative. And if you had a 10 out of 10 day, great. Wake up inspired to do it again. So that's my process right there. I take 3 minutes to reflect on my day. I look over Google Calendar for the following day. Those mental intentions, that awareness, is how you take complete control of your life and consistently grow long term. Those 3 pieces of my program, I guarantee the vision, your why, and a daily blueprint will allow you to elevate your results in everything that you do in life. Because now you have a personal system, just like you have a system in business, just like you're organized in business, just like anything that thrives in life has structure to it. Now you have structure. Now you don't have to worry about all of this bullshit that takes up people's time and attention. You don't have to think about when you're going to the gym. You don't have to think about your day or what you're going to do to change your life. Now you have a blueprint to execute. And over time, as you see results materializing, as you feel the growth that you're acquiring, it stokes that spirit, it stokes that inspiration. And that's where the purpose in your life is derived, from seeing what's possible through daily action and effort. And you'll never be the same. My name is Sean Michael Crane. This is the system to creating an unstoppable mindset. Implement it immediately. Let's take control of our lives and dominate as the men that we are here to be.